Okay, I am on to the second trio of the scherzo. I'll assume that my string partners have had their say. They've all run all over the place with 16th notes, and I've been supportive of them. And I turn the page and gasp. But I was doing a cursory review of how much of that just came back, stone cold. In other words, how much did my ears, my body, my mind respond to what they saw on the page and recognize, oh yeah, we've been here before. And a lot of it stuck. So yesterday's work paid off quite well. Now I have to refine it, and there are certain places that were less familiar than other places, or more awkward. For example, finding my placement for this A-flat minor section for some reason was a little less successful. Now, we all notice with amusement that because the figure starts gavotte-like in the middle of a 2/4 measure, it feels as if the second beat is the first beat, although Schumann reminds you sometimes with a reiteration or an accent on the downbeat. So when we get to these noodles, we have to be careful to know where we are in the measure and in the phrase. Decide how much I need to look. For example there, do I need to look for that? I'd much rather be looking down here, so I think I don't need to look there. So left, well maybe. Right. Not so much that the left needed me to look, it needed me to give it time to find its note. So, its key. These slightly awkward 1-2s or 1-3s on black and white, which are odd for my body. This, for example, I need to be careful either to see them, to feel I'm delivering myself to the right place. So this one is a major third. Some of them are smaller, so the sensations change. Little, nice chord, little, somewhat compressed, but okay. Big chord, nice chord. I have these, I guess, rating systems. A major third, white and black in the right hand, is really, really good feeling. A minor third is okay for my hand. The reverse, black to white, thumb, minor second is okay. Minor third rather, and a major third is a little bit less okay, depending, I guess, on what the black note is. But anyway, because there's that certain calibration, grading system, shall I say, that enables me to sort of get ready for a particular kind of sensation. Here I need a bigger commitment because of the bigger interval. This is long. Wow. And it takes no time in real time, you know. But on the page, it does. So, I have to know, I'm going to write A flat minor at the bottom of this page, because when the page turns, well, you know what? Also, I'm going to write E flat. I want to know where I'm going. And the A flat will be experienced in the left hand. I really need to know that. There is no time. If this page gets whipped over and I see this, I don't want to be frantic about where I'm heading. So this, yeah, that's right. So let's pretend. Shift in thought from C sharp minor to A flat minor. It's just, the way it's notated is so strange. Get down to D flat, so. And that for me, because I haven't been in leap mode before now, I have to be hyper conscious. Getting out of this. It's one of the first things that's going to confront me, not just the runny 16th notes. If I'm in the right place, playing a simple 4-note scale shouldn't be a big deal. But my far bigger deal is to be aware of that leap. And it's not going to the dominant, it's going to the subdominant, it's going one note further down. So. Do I need to refine it by looking more? Knowing it better, I will probably have the nerve to look and not feel I'll lose my way. Maybe look. Maybe look. Okay, so again, there's not a whole lot of time on those wonderful dissonances to know where I'm going. So I have to try to find a physical relationship. The right hand, not too hard to define. I go up to the B flat. Unfortunately, it's an octave higher. The left hand goes up just a half step from where my right hand thumb was, and then my right hand lifts up the octave. It should be pointed out that it's not that my whole hand migrates up an octave. My thumb is still around where it's going to be, so that's a very useful orientation. It's important to never forget that your fingers don't detach from your hands when they go searching for keys. So you always have to be willing and ready, and often it's necessary to define where the part of your hand is that's close to where you just were, where it is. And in this case, I don't really care so much about the fact that my fourth finger meandered up an octave. my thumb just moved up a note. Okay, and I already had decided I wanted this sforzando piano sting to be primarily on the decorative note on top. Again, I let the music scare me. I didn't get used to, I'm not used to. Wow, who would get used to that? But that's physically what's going on. It's really so accessible. Now, how do I get that into my sort of calming system? I remind myself that at this point, there's no need for me to be thinking about how to finish off this noodle. I'm not going to stop this gesture in midstream, probably even here. So if I need to look anywhere, I can be looking a beat or two in advance, maybe even 3 or 4 beats. I mean, once I start this, if I know it well, I know how it feels, I know how it goes, I'm looking way ahead, or I'm looking at you. Okay. Sting. Sting. Same principle. Know what's happening. Well, I see here. Let me see how that relates to what I was just doing before. This is coming down a note. It's not exactly under my hand. I could use third and then adjust my fingering. I don't think I need to. I just need to be conscious of the placement. My arm turns out ever so slightly rightward. But if I don't practice this transition on its own, I can never take responsibility for how it feels. There's also the left hand upper voice is the lead voice in combination with the violinist. Look ahead, telling myself to look ahead. I didn't need to be looking for this. I'm doing the same thing over and over in a chromatic scale. So that's where the more you know the score so that you internalize the larger gestures, the better off you are. Because if I'm staring at this, being careful of every note, then I'm going to wait till the last possible moment to decide what to do. But right now, I'm looking 2 measures ahead, so I can plan my next course of action. There we go. Okay, so at rehearsal number 8, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. I should know that. Once in my youth, I knew most of those numbers. Like I know that 13 is M and 14 is N. But unfortunately, because I and J aren't both used, then I have to change my translation table. In any event, this is the point at which I'm not doubling anybody. I am the lead voice, so I have to be able to execute it with a sense of ease and also not get to it from a position of hysteria. I have whatever time I need sloppy drawing to start that, because nobody is in there with me, although if I were way late, my cellist would not be happy. She comes in on the next downbeat. So anyway, I'm here. They're not unhappy keys, luckily. Actually, something as simple as an E minor. Who's heard of that in this piece? So, strangely, with the fewer black notes, it's actually a little more cumbersome. Or harder to find the notes. Let me put it then a moment of real relief. So how much looking do I need? There's a big it's not so much the looking, but the time for placement. Either I'm going to use my looking, my vision, or I'm going to use my sense of touch, but I'm going to use the time. This one is under my hand. Maybe there. Because I really don't have a lot of time. Left hand has plenty of time for its replacement. Right? So, one note up when it changes key to B minor. So, look. Yeah. Look. I didn't look, and I missed. Look. Also, I have to remind myself. Open chord, triad. 3-note chord. Look. Look. Now. Did I need to look for those? Didn't hurt. Nonchalance, and I consciously look. I'll smile this time, okay? It feels plastered on, but it works. An attitude adjustment that says, "Oh, and the sun is out." Yippee! So I'll play it faster. Just now, that would sound frantic, but the fact is, it's finding that the position shifts are okay. So when I'm a little softer, okay, things are starting to cook. Let me go back toward my solo here. Look! But then I needed to know what my left hand was doing. Look. The shift to the B minor was not yet familiar enough to me. So, let's do it again. Look. I missed. So even if I looked, I didn't look with sufficient involvement in what it meant to look. I need to look to get that E. Think E. Yeah. Think E. Think B. Shift. Yes. Left hand. Have the right tilt for B minor. I wasn't going to look at it. B. So. And what I need to do is here, because this happens in quick succession, is to be concentrating on just getting the B, and then separately to feel the upper part of that chord. And so I need to practice this transition. He's really asking for it. You know, he's asking for beam together 16 notes, sometimes 2-octave leaps. So my hand has to be extremely passive on the bottom, otherwise it won't be able to be transported clearly in a timely enough fashion. So, look! It's one of the few places where I don't have time to just nestle into position, so I may need to look at my... I may not, but I may. Look! Well, it certainly makes it easier. Yeah. Look! Nice. Let me lighten that up. It sounds a little effortful. There will be a crescendo, but I'm going to ignore it for now. Because I want to prove to myself that it's not hard. Whoa. Boy, is that ever cumbersome. Okay, let me go back. too well. You know what? I'm not sure I want to look because it's occupying too much energy. So let's find out. I want to look at my right hand here. I take it back. It's useful once in a while. So. Yuck. Myself down a bit. I've been going really quickly to try to prove to myself that there's no panic necessary, that it's organically simple. It is. It's physically simple for me. So long as I keep my wits about me. I remember that the fifth down there, I always want to go to just a fourth down to the tonic, dominant. I'm feeling good. You know, finding the key to this little thing was aided immensely by just telling myself, stop staring at this, stop thinking about this, look ahead. Here's G major, how about that? Look ahead, A, how about that? Boy, it keeps on going. What on earth is he thinking? Fifth finger. And now I'll stick with it. It's idiosyncratic, but aren't we all? Oh, and that exception fingering, I remember. It works actually rather well, that exception. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right here. I never use it anywhere else. And I should remind myself that I go right back to fourth again. Fourth, fourth. Okay. Look ahead. Twist your hand. You know what I meant to say. Twist your hand, not in the twisty sense. Turn, because the twist sounds like a pejorative, and I don't need to do anything awkward. Turn the hand. Okay, we'll find that. Okay, the bottom note is a black note. I could look at this passage. No, there are a lot of black notes down there, so nothing unusual. That's good. And right. Don't be shocked. It's right here. Right here. You think that was a mistake? Find the choreography, the gesture, and then the tilted head. There it is. And then I was able to find the exception fingering. I didn't look at the music, as a natural continuation of what I was used to. That's a good sign. The so-called muscle memory was starting to kick in. need still consciousness on the slightly odd thing here that I've decided I like because my body grabs that chord better that way. Not yours. Okay, that was more or less good. So. The fingering I wrote for myself, it eliminates a lot of tension if I try to use a fingering that's less passive. 3, 1, 3, 2. Boy, that's nice. Then I shift. I lost track. How many of those? That's actually 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay, I promised I have enough time to review the A section of the scherzo and the return here. Also, I want to review how it feels to get off the octaves. I remember, I think, trying to redivide it. Let me go back and decide what I decided. I did like it last time. There's no reason I shouldn't like it this time. To finish off, and even a reminder of the explanation, then I don't have to recommit to the keyboard. To black note, to the black note, to the black note, then something entirely different. It's going to be either another approach for the octave, or it's going to be the left hand just going, which is easy for it. Oh gosh, I like that. Last 3-note group in the right hand has to feel like a white, white, black. White, black. And I also recall that grouping. First here and then here and then here. That gives me parallel gestures of white, white, black, white, white, black, white, white, pseudo black. Makes that long expanse of white notes so much easier. Here and then here and then here and then. First here, then here, and then here, and then here. Yippee! Giddy with pleasure. Let's see. I gotta get used to that. It's gotta become familiar. Otherwise, it's worthless. Myself. If this were solo music, I wouldn't dream of staring off in the distance in a passage like this. So why I'm immersed in the score when I should be immersed in what I'm doing at the keyboard, I don't know. And then I need to remind myself that the first D on the bottom is fifth finger. Why would I want to shift my whole hand? I've just served 5 this. I can shift in any time I want. flat. So this is the E flat, and then D at the bottom, but fifth finger. E flat, two notes, and then three, and then three, and then three. So, yup, 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 da, 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 da. Two notes, and then three, and then three, and then three. So, E flat, E flat. Two notes, and then three, and then three, and then three. Oh yes. But I didn't have a solution for the bottom. And then three, and then three, and then three. Fifth finger again. And then three, and then three, and then three. And then three, and then three, and then three. And then three, and then three, and then three. Maybe even look at that fifth. Because I want to make sure that I'm aware of the same solution. Yeah. But just as it was at rehearsal A, or number 1, having an A-flat fingering doesn't help if I didn't tell myself what to play at the bottom, at the beginning. So it's second finger. First two, and then three, and then three, and then three. And then three, and then three, and then three. So, and then 4. Okay, that's what I was working on now. I know that it's identical. Happens a number of times, so I want to make sure I'm really clear about these shakes. I think I should be marking every time the solution I had, because the solution works. Three. Way to go. 3. Turn, move my hand. And then 2 again. Okay, and the middle time it happens. 3, 2, and 2 again. It's just silly not to have that extra little aid. Because it makes it easy. Again, I'm going to double check myself. Two on the G. Exactly. In the middle time. Didn't write it. Doomed to repeat it, you know the expression. I hope to learn. Yeah. It's good. Okay. I'm going to stop. I feel good.